In this video, let us solve one of the basic hacker rank problems, compare the triplets. It's a very basic one, easy to solve. Let's first take a look at the problem statement. What it says is Alice and Bob each created one problem for HackerRank. A reviewer rates the two challenges, awarding points on a scale from 1 to 100 for three categories: problem clarity, originality, and difficulty. The rating for Alice challenge is a triplet A0, A1, A2, and the rating for Bob's challenge is the triplet B0, B1, B2. The task is to find their comparison points by comparing A0 with B0, A1 with B1, A2 with B2, and if the corresponding, we are going to be comparing values at locations 0, 1, and 2 between Alice and Bob. Whoever has more points, they'll be awarded 1 point. And after the computation is done like that, we are guaranteed to have only 3 values. And comparison points is the total points a person is earned. Given A and B, determine their respective comparison points. In this example, Alice has 1, 2, 3. Bob has 3, 2, 1. Comparing 1 with 3, Bob scored 3, so Bob gets 1 point. In case of the second problem, both of them received 2 points. That means neither of them get any point. And for the third problem, Alice received 3 and Bob received 1. So Alice gets 1 point. So each of them, they have 1 point each. So the return array, it will be a 1, 1 array which should be returned when when the compare triplet method is executed. What is guaranteed in this particular requirement problem statement is that there will always be 3 values each, and the result has to be a single dimensional array with the 2 values. Okay, let's go to the implementation. Compare triplets is the method we are supposed to implement, and it is given 2 input parameters: list of integers A and B. Values in the list A corresponds to the points received by scores received by Alice, and list B contains the scores received by Bob. So I'm going to initialize Alice points, 2 integer variables, and Bob points, I'm initializing them to declaring and initializing them to 0. Next, for I equals 0, since there is a guarantee that there will only be 3 values all the time, I'm going to fix the upper limit at 3. That means I less than 3 would guarantee me to go from 0 to 2. That will be 3 elements. Okay, so if A dot get I is greater than B dot get I, we need to compare values at the same location in both lists. So if Alice received better scores for a given problem, then she would get 1 point. So Alice points, I am going to increment it by 1, and if that is not the case, if B dot get I happens to be, that means Bob received better scores compared to Alice, in that case Bob should get 1 point. As you can see, we are not considering the possibility of both Alice and Bob receiving the same score, because as per requirements nothing should happen if both of them have received the same score. In that case, no one gets any points. Now we have, at the end of this particular loop, we will have points allocated to Alice and Bob, but the requirement is to return them as a list of integer objects. So I'm going to be using Java's built-in asList method to return Alice points and Bob points. I'm going to be fixing this problem. I named it as Bob point. I'm changing that to Bob points. And yeah, I made a video on how the arrays.asList method works, what type of input parameters it could take, and what are the key characteristics of the list that is returned as part of executing the asList method on the on arrays. I'll leave a link to that in this video description. Take a look at it if you need to know more about the asList method. So essentially what it does is it can take a single or any number of input values and turns them into a list. In this case, the expected return value is a list of integer objects. So we are using the built-in arrays.asList to return value in the specified format. Let's run it and see if it works. Run code. Right, your output is 1, 1. The expected output is 1. So there we are. Let's submit this end code. All right, so try it out and let me know your experience in the comments. And I'm going to be posting this solution, and there are a lot of other technology related topics and stock market related topics and global military technology related topics on my website, parthakuchana.com. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Take a look at it if you need additional information.